My holiness envelops everything I see. Today's idea extends the idea for yesterday, from the perceiver to the perceived. You are holy because your mind is part of God's, and because you are holy, your sight must be holy as well. Sinless means without sin. You cannot be without sin a little. You are sinless or not. If your mind is part of God's, you must be sinless, or a part of His mind would be sinful. Your sight is related to His holiness, not to your ego, and therefore not to your body. 4 3 to 5 minute practice periods are required for today. Try to distribute them fairly evenly and make the shorter applications frequently to protect your protection throughout the day. The longer practice periods should take this form. First, close your eyes and repeat the idea for today several times slowly. Then open your eyes and look quite slowly about you, applying the idea specifically to whatever you note in your casual survey. Say, for example, my holiness envelops that rug. My holiness envelops that wall. My holiness envelops these fingers. My holiness envelops that chair. My holiness envelops that body. My holiness envelops this pen. Several times during these practice periods, close your eyes and repeat the idea to yourself. Then open your eyes and continue as before. For the shorter exercise periods, close your eyes and repeat the idea. Look about you as you repeat it again, and conclude with one more repetition with your eyes closed. All applications should, of course, be made quite slowly, as effortlessly and unhurriedly as possible. My holiness envelops everything I see. A Course in Miracles is teaching us to think differently and to also see differently, to perceive differently the world that we find ourselves in. And I like to say that the Course teaches us that there's so much more than meets the eye, because if we simply use our physical senses and sense and perceive and think based on that evidence, then we are going to be aligned with that part of our mind that provides evidence of separation, that provides evidence of lovelessness and pain and suffering, of randomness, of meaninglessness, of fear, of anxiety, of pain, of hurt, of guilt in the world. And we've also talked about that we can use our spiritual senses instead to see beyond what our physical senses present to us and look for that truer truth, the deeper meaning that is beyond. That we can see with the eyes of love, see with the eyes of Christ. We can think with the mind of love, think with the mind of Christ, think with God. And that will determine what kind of experience we have as an effect, as a result. We have talked about how we are very holy in the last lesson because God created us. He is holiness. He cannot create that which is not like Him because He is all there is. So He can only create more of what He is. So we are very holy. Here in this world, it's up to us to bring that holiness into everything we see and everything we do. My holiness envelops everything I see. We're going to do our lesson the way it says to do it. And that's important. But think about how different your day would be if you walked through your day and the only thing that changed was the way you think and see every situation and every person that you meet. What if you really walked through your day and went through your day thinking, my holiness envelops everything I see? Just that would shift everything. Imagine looking at everyone. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops you. Extending that holiness and blessing and love to everyone and everything you encounter. Well, I've got news for you. That's what the modern miracle worker does. First, you accept this for yourself, and then you move differently within the world. You let this holiness and let love lead you in the world. and you bless everyone. You extend love. That is your divine purpose here in this loveless world. To extend love, to extend holiness, to bless, to give, to be compassionate, to be merciful. All of that falls under the category of love, and love is holiness. My holiness envelops everything I see. Your life would change. The people around you would change. The situations would change. And that, my friends, is a miracle. Shifting it through the lens of the sacred. This is modern miracle working. It's that easy and it's that difficult, right? Sometimes it's really simple for us, and sometimes it's that one person that we're holding on to the past, and we're holding on to a grievance, and we know we need to extend love, to forgive, and that's our assignment in that moment. But the miracle worker extends love liberally, I like to say. Apply love liberally around your life and transform the meaningless into the miraculous. You get practiced at this, and then what's coming up for you, it gets a little bit easier. The more you actually do it, the more you work that miracle-minded muscle to do those more difficult situations and relationships. So that is your purpose, your function here, to extend love, to extend holiness, to wrap that light and love and holiness around everything you see, to infuse everything with that. But first you have to really get that that's your identity, that you are holiness. We talked about that yesterday. God is in my mind. I am very holy. I am holiness. I am holiness incarnate in an unholy world. And so it's important, before we do the things, we have to be the person that can do the things authentically. So this is what a miracle worker does first, is to really get that that's who you are, and to slowly, come back to that realization over and over again. I am holiness. So it's about remembering that, awakening to that truth of the holiness that we inherently are, and then living from that state of holiness and radiating it out into the world. We want to envelop everything around us with that love and holiness. The Course says we were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. And that's what creation is: expression, extending love, extending holiness. It's really sharing the awareness of who you are out into the world. It helps wake other people up, miracle receivers that can receive that from you, to help them remember who they are. Once we become identified with the holiness that we are and the holiness that is within us and wants to express through us, then we can then go out and express that love in the ways that we are guided. This is the formula for the modern miracle worker. My holiness envelops everything I see. Once we see it differently, we can then act differently, show up differently, be transformers of that which is not holy, that which is neutral, that which is loveless, that which is meaningless. Your holiness is so transformative that it creates miracles in every aspect of your life. How could it not? How could your holiness not tip that which is unloving, transform that which is unholy into what is of love, what is holy, what is meaningful? My holiness envelops everything I see. This lesson is a really great one. Go through the exercise and just imagine if you walked through your day thinking, my holiness envelops everything I see. I'll see you tomorrow. Nadia? Nadia. I love you. I love you.